This is my BMW M4 F82 and I have been daily driving this thing for the last 10,000 kilometers, and here is how much it cost me. Let's talk about the looks of the BMW M4 quickly. To me, it is amazing to look at. Look at those beautiful lines, this coupe shape, you know? They really outdid themselves with this design. In my opinion, it reminds me a lot of the E46 M3. The nice, beautiful front, you know, the small kidneys, the nice openings here. Obviously, I have lowered it down, fat wheels and so on. But even as a standard original car, it looks amazing. Look at the beautiful shape. Coupe line on the side, you know. Here is my favorite position of that M4. Look at that, come on. The lines, the cutting edges, the beautiful shark styled antenna, very nice. Really a lovely car. And then this little spoiler, look at that, this aerodynamic styles on it is just very beautiful to look at. Also from this angle, you know, with the LCD taillights, very nice fitting, just a beautiful car. Now the interior is not really the best and the most extraordinary interior, but it works, it looks nice, and it is a very functional interior, not too complicated, so I like it a lot. Here is the thing, there's a bunch of topics that we need to talk about today. First of all, we need to talk about the overall reliability of the car and the engine. Second, we need to talk about the daily driving capability and the fuel consumption. Third, about if you're actually interested in acquiring one of these, because then you need to know which ones to buy, how much to maximum pay for it, and which years you should get. And the fourth thing we need to talk about is this massive tuning potential and why this is arguably one of the greatest M cars you could ever get. Alright, let me pop the hood to talk about this engine and its reliability. This is the S55 engine, which is arguably one of the greatest M engines ever produced. Overall, very reliable, right? Used in the M4 like this, in the M4 competition with 450 horsepower, in the M4 CS with 460 horsepower, and even in the M4 GTS with 500 horsepower. This is the one from 2015, which means it had originally 431 horsepower. Now here's the thing with the S55 engine. It's really misunderstood because it was the first turbocharged engine, inline 6-cylinder, that they fit in an M3 M4, and people didn't like it a lot. I was one of those guys, right, that didn't like it. The M3 E92 was unreliable as hell if you don't drive it, and this one has only two problems, and I will tell you about them right now. The only two problems that this engine has is, first, the charge pipe, which you can see here has been updated to carbon fiber by me. Normally it's plastic, right? And they like to blow here, or the charge pipe likes to blow somewhere underneath there, and you lose complete power, engine goes into failure mode, and so on, right? So no airflow, no cooling, nothing. It just blows, no power at all. Also, if you tune it like I do here, you really have to make those clips as hard in as possible so there's no air that can travel out, otherwise you're really losing power. We tested it on the dyno 2 times. Once it had 460 horsepower, then we adjusted a little bit, and then it blew 500 horsepower, man, that's insane. A second thing that likes to break is actually the crank hub, and the crank hub requires you to change it and update it, right? Nothing breaks on that car. The engine is rock solid, especially if you change to 10W40 or 10W50 oil after the warranty has passed. You're safe. You're safe. I know people driving 500,000–600,000 kilometers with the M4, daily driving it. If the clutch ever tends to fail, you're looking at around $3,500 to replace the clutches, because it's a double clutch system, but they never fail. I don't know about a single M4 that had a clutch failure. That's insane. All right, let's have a quick look at the real life costs of the BMW M4. So as you can see here, I've been driving the car for 8,000. As you can see here on the screen, it says 8,074 kilometers driven at an average fuel consumption of 10.4 liter and an average speed of around 65 kph, which means I've been driving this car through the city, in traffic jams, on the autobahn, also pulling some 300 kph runs. I'll be completely honest with you. I've been using it, I've been driving it for 10,000 kilometers, right? This gives us a total, cost of around 1,920 Swiss francs for 10,000 kilometers driven at an average fuel consumption of 10.4 liters. Now the thing is, This is the total fuel consumption with everything done. If you really want to go low fuel consumption with this car, you can put it into 120 kph, drive as cautious as possible, put the car into efficiency mode, and you're looking at 7.5 liters to 100 kilometers. There's a fuel consumption test I did on the car. If you want to check it out, make sure to check the page. It's really so reliable and so much fun to drive for no money at all. Insurance cost me $1,700 fully protected, okay, in Switzerland, and we have some street taxes that you have to pay around 500. So this is 2,300 for insurance and street taxes, $1,920 for the fuel. So you're looking at $4,220 to drive this car 10,000 kilometers and a year. So now the question comes, should you buy this? Should you lease it? What should you do? How many kilometers should it have? Which year should you buy? And here is where, the opinions divide, okay? I personally, I'm the type of guy, I love the maximum for the lowest amount of payment, all right? So to me, it was absolutely logical that I will get the M4 F82 from around 2015, 2016, because it's the same engine, it's the same gearbox, everything is the same. It has 431 horsepower, but it costs less. And we don't have any OPF. I didn't care about the facelift taillights. I didn't care about the facelift front lights. I didn't care about it. I just wanted a beautiful machine that I can drive daily and I will have a lot of fun with. So those cars are in a range of 35 to 45,000 depending on the mileage. Now how, or better to say kilometers, because I know about the kilometer price ranges. So here's the thing, a lot of people would tell you, buy a car with low kilometers, 50, 60,000, etc., and drive the rest yourself. I'm not a fan of this. I'll be completely honest. I don't think you should do that. I think you should get one of those with 110, 120,000 kilometers. All the services are done, everything is done, and you will save a lot of money. I'll be honest, I bought this car with 140,000 kilometers. So I didn't care. I didn't have a single problem with it, and I have even been tuning it. So this, to me, I don't care. Why would I buy a car for 50k when I know it will be 35k in 2 years after I have driven it for 50, 60,000 kilometers? That doesn't make any sense to me. But on the other side, you know that if you're at the lowest price range, you're kind of dictating the market. If I sell my car, which I cannot obviously because I'm giving it away, but if I would have been selling it, I would have just put it into this in the same price that I bought it for, right? So that's how I think. I don't think spending money on low kilometers is the thing you should do. It really doesn't matter. If the car is reliable by itself, I don't really give a shit. Should you buy this or should you lease it? Listen, I have my own logic in that topic, okay? I only lease cars that I can actually buy cash instantly. Now, why do I do that? Well, basically, you never know. For example, the AMG GTS costs around 70,000 Swiss francs. I would have never leased that car in my entire life if I did not have the money to buy it cash, right? I would never do that. The thing is, I just want to get rid of those things if I need to get rid of those things. I've been taught a couple of lessons regarding money. I've heard a couple of stories, so I like to keep the money cash on my bank account, all right? That's it. So I prefer only to lease cars that I can actually buy. So everything you see, all the cars that I have can be bought instantly or are bought. So I'm not the biggest fan of you making no down payment and leasing a car because it's just suffering. It's slow bleeding and suffering. I don't like that. However, what I would suggest you to do is the following. It's a very simple rule of thumb, and I like to follow that principle. Let's say you want to buy this BMW M4 and you want to do a leasing. I would suggest you to do this. You do an initial down payment of 10k, okay? Let's assume the car costs 40,000. You do initial down payment of 10k, all right? And you do a rest payment, like the last payment, if you want to buy that car out at the end of the lease, of around 15,000 bucks, right? That gives you, with 15,000 bucks to lease, you do that on 3-4 years, you're paying 350 to 500 bucks a month. I think everybody with a solid job, okay, can do that. But if you're earning under 4 or 5,000 bucks a month, and you have to pay for all the things, like I'm talking about Swiss prices, you have to pay for your house, you have to pay for the rental, and so on. Bro, I'll be honest, don't do it. Now, here is some bonus footage, because it's probably one of the last times you're going to see me drive this BMW M4. I'm giving it away with Race PM to somebody that is buying a product from them. So this will go to a new owner by the end of next week, so on the 29/6. I will miss it a lot, but it's time for me to buy something else. You know, I have the MG GTS, I have the Seat Leon, which I'm planning on doing a tuning project on. So this is probably the last drive, and I can tell you it has been nothing but amazing. Tuning potential wise, absolutely insane. I put the Venturi in, I have an Alitsky sound system, I have the Bilstein suspension, I have the Ready 8 wheels, all right? And we have the MHD set to GTS map, and now it has around 500 horsepower, and we could easily go to more. So it's amazing. It's an amazing car. Just listen to that. It's such an amazing car to drive, really. It's really amazing to drive. A beautiful machine that you can drive, enjoy, floor, do all kinds of stuff with it. Listen. The pops and banks are set to low. Magnificent car, really. It just goes and goes and goes, and I love it for that. Oh yeah, somebody will have a lot of fun with that car, man. I'm telling you, somebody will have a lot of fun. So yeah. Now the final question is, should you get one of these? And I can tell you with all my heart, absolutely yes. If you like sports cars, if you want to drive something that will make you happy every single day of your life, that will not use a lot of fuel, and that is just gorgeous to look at, and it's potentially a future classic, go ahead and buy the BMW M4 F82. It's one of the greatest M cars ever. It's one of my all-time favorite M cars. Make sure you buy it. Drive the shit out of it, enjoy it, drive it daily, drive it for 400,000 kilometers. It won't have a problem with it. So this is my final verdict. I love this car. I really love it. I can't wait to give it away to the new owner so I can hear the happiness from that person. I will miss it when it's gone. And that's it, friends. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.